The honourable member for Leduc-Beaumont, followed by Airdrie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my family has lived on and travelled Highway 2 for more than 40 years, and I have never seen the spate of accidents as over the last few months. The Highway 2 corridor between Calgary and Edmonton is the economic lifeline of Alberta, with more than 80,000 vehicle movements per day. My constituents, Mr. Speaker, as well as many Albertans, are very worried for their safety driving this highway in the winter due to the poor condition. To the Minister of Transportation, why this poor state of maintenance?
Honourable Minister.
I thank the honourable member for being such a strong advocate for the people of his riding, Mr. Speaker. In fact, I drove that road just this morning, and I have to say, Mr. Speaker, well, I never felt unsafe. The trip took 4 hours instead of 3. The fact is, Mr. Speaker, we cannot stop winter from being winter. Nonetheless, when storms come, we get equipment out, we monitor it, and Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, we have people out. We have GPSs. We know on every piece of equipment where they're out. Mr. Speaker, the job's getting done. I can tell the honourable member isn't happy yet.
Honourable member for supplemental.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And given that these roads are supposed to be maintained to Alberta government standards, and there have been many instances lately of poor conditions even days after snowfall, to the Minister, do you have the ability to penalize the highway maintenance contractors for poor performance?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I will say this. Not only do we have the ability to penalize contractors, we do it. Mr. Speaker, they're held to a high standard. After every storm, we review the storm with the contractors, where the service was not up to the standards that Albertans could and should expect. They are penalized, Mr. Speaker, real financial penalties, up to the point, Mr. Speaker, where they can actually lose the long-term contract that they have and put a lot of money into set up. So we take this seriously, Mr. Speaker. The contractors will tell you they don't like it very much when they get those penalties, but we don't hesitate to put the penalties in place when the service requires it.
Honourable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And given that provincial highways are publicly taxpayer-funded assets, yet they're being maintained by the private sector for private gain, again to the Minister, don't you think this poor highway maintenance situation is calling for your department to take over this vital service delivery to ensure the safety of all Albertans?
Well, honourable minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the fact is the taxpayers of Alberta through this government have saved lots of money, in the neighbourhood of 25% since we gave up our ability to do it and have contracted out to the private sector. Further, Mr. Speaker, over time the level of service has increased. I know that the member's not happy today, but the fact is over time it's gotten better. We have systems in place to deal with situations that crop up. Mr. Speaker, the roads in this province get taken care of very well. And, Mr. Speaker, we will continue to respond to the complaints as they come up, but we can't stop it from being...